goes on for a little bit. Sorry, just give it a second.
It would be really funny if they just couldn't hear the sound at all.
Yeah, if it's just me just waving around like a lunatic, that'll be funny. But we're trying out some music today. We're starting up with some music. That was the Minor Mush Sting by John Delale. I don't think I said his name right. But welcome back. We're doing another stream. It's our second stream, third episode of Slippery When Wet, the session set in Bardosh that we don't have Holly this week.
No.
So no Holly, no Kai, but we do have lovely Lucky and lovely Aaliyah joining us. Oh, did we check the microphones are working?
Yeah, they're working.
A little bit.
They're working. So the setup's gonna be a little bit weird.
Should I
I deny the allegations wholeheartedly.
Do you want to move the camera a little bit, Lucky, so that it's facing Leah a bit?
I could
Can they
move.
just move like a seat across?
Yeah.
No, we'll just.
I could
Because then I won't be able to see Leah.
What? We designed this table specifically so the M could see all the players.
But here we go. In more important news, the things that I should cover. There is a YouTube. Please go watch it. It contains all our VODs. On there is the Planthera world and Lucky and Holly's world in Cathora. Tons of episodes for you to go watch. Tons of backlog. We got a comment last week saying someone is actually watching them, which is huge news for us, and we love that person.
Give many kiss.
Cat.
We've also got an Instagram, which has some cool content on it. It's been I haven't been posting so much as of late, but I will get back to that soon. No?
How dare you?
I'm trying.
We're genuinely disappointed.
TikTok's popping off, though.
TikTokers do be working.
TikTok's going to be getting some of our YouTube shorts that I'll also be posting over there. So double the content for you. Watch it twice.
I do.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You're already here on Twitch.
Discord.
There's a Discord you can go hang out in. Patreon, I haven't done anything on the Patreon yet. It's set up for stuff to be there, but I will do stuff for it soon, so don't pay us yet.
Or pay us yet.
But when we get there, if you do pay us yet, you will be paid out for what you've paid for, just not immediately. And with that, I think we get right into the session. So, we begin in your rooms, currently separate rooms. Kai, for the morning, is busy. Kai has some leads to follow in terms of the gangsters that Kai was following last session and is now going after the next people, but doesn't really know where. So Kai's going to go off for a little bit and try and talk to some underground people and doesn't really want you two hanging around for that, which is probably true. Like, if Holly was here, Kai probably would be like...
Ishak's great at underworld people.
Hey.
Ishak is underworld people.
Please don't follow me. You're weird.
Kai would never say that to Ren.
Totally. And hasn't already. And yeah, you two are just sort of stuck for the day. Just hang out. You have no goals currently. You have no ambitions. The day will be wasted if you just sit in your room and stay. So what are you all going to get up to for this lovely little session?
Ren is going to leave their room,
Yeah.
go out into the hallway,
Yeah.
go down to Ishak's room, and just repeatedly, Ishak! Ishak! Ishak!
Do I have rope to get out the window?
Yeah, you probably do have rope on you currently.
Can I try to escape from the window?
How are you doing it? Because you
Tying
could...
a rope on the balcony and using my athletics to get down.
Okay. Well, there's no balcony, but there is a window.
Cool.
There's a window with like a coffee table in front of it with a vase and some flowers on it, which you notice has been refreshed. They're different flowers to what they were yesterday. And there's that window if you want to... It's big enough for a person to fit through. It's quite a large double open window.
I'm like looking for a point to tether a rope, and I just sigh.
You could try and tether it on the windowsill. Difficult. You could try and tether it on the window itself. Also difficult. Or the coffee table. But you'd be hoping upon hope that The coffee table didn't just come out the window straight after you.
I know you're in there. Can we like hang out or something? I'm really bored and alone right now. Please. I don't know what to do. I'm not from here. What if I like die?
I like open the arms. I am from here.
You're from here?
No.
Well,
I'm
then,
not from
that
here.
makes us like best of friends because we both aren't from here. Where are you from?
From the desert. I am from Squash.
I don't know where that is.
Another place.
Yo, I'm from another place too. Do I like notice the rope?
You notice the fact I'm holding a rope?
Yeah. Ishak currently... Would Ishak be in full dress overnight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not overnight, but Ishak would have put it on before entering the door.
Sure. Well, Ishak in full dress is holding a rope at this current time. Sort of air lightly breezing through his hair from an open window behind him.
What are you doing with the rope?
Yes.
That's not a good description, but that's okay. Well, I usually hang out with Kai, but because Kai's not here, I guess we could hang out if you really want to.
I mean, I didn't need to go to the port. I had to go threaten some people.
That sounds awesome. Can I help? I'm not really threatening, but I could be like a decoy, so then you extra threaten them.
I show you, you're a threat to some.
Well, sure.
I'm a threat. Let's go. That's so cool.
That's a great direction. So, you head out of your rooms. Is there anything you wish to collect from downstairs, or anything from your rooms?
A handless man in the lobby. No.
Is there a what?
A handless man in the lobby.
There is not a handless man in the lobby, unfortunately. John is not here.
Are those two that we made talk to each other still there talking to each other?
Which two did you make talk to each other?
Last session we made two people talk to each other, and you said it was like a bouncing thing where they just both kept talking to one another about the kid with like the long
Oh yeah, that was outside the...
Jamie and... no, Jamie's son, and who is the second
I
one?
don't know.
And the newspaper, the informational
yeah.
clerk. No, they're not there
They're
either.
not there anymore?
You can actually see Jamie out, sort of,
Jamie's
Jamie's
son?
son.
Okay. I was like,
out
oh my
in
god,
the
I know your child!
street, still sort of like tugging on people's arms and stuff on this main street that travels through town. He's sort of more to your right of the building in the upper, richer districts. And the information desk is currently hosted by a different person.
Okay. Well, I don't want to help the child. Let's go to the port instead and be threatening.
I got information desk. Hello, which way to the port?
Oh yeah, I don't know where that is.
Oh, so you leave the room, you go to your right, and then there's a street it's a pretty straight street for a while, and then it goes down. And if you want to go, what sort of port do you want to go to? Because we've got the port where the boats are, but we've also got the fishing docks, and we've also got the sewer plant even further down. So it's really up to you where you want to go. Is there something specific you've got in mind?
The Desic family.
Oh, this is a family establishment, sir. We don't generally deal in those sort of things.
Just tell me whether...
If this is your first time to the town, I really wouldn't advise you going over there. They're dangerous people.
I'm a dangerous person.
So am I.
Look, if you must go, you go down the main street, down the other main street. So it's a right, and then it's another right, and then you follow the curved road, and that'll lead you down to the port, where the Desocks sort of are. But Desocks are just a port family. Is that enough for you? I'm loath to give you any more information.
That's enough, thank you.
It's a terrible place.
Okay. I'm a terrible person. Let's go.
What? Ishak's a great person. Don't listen to him.
I'm genuinely afraid of what could happen down there. Could you remind me what you're up to at the port, Lockie?
I had to go intimidate them for money.
More
That's
money.
Did you forget that you made the Desert Family of Pain like have to go made us my entire time here?
No. That's... I didn't forget, but I didn't really go on the path. Well, you can, so...
Shark is a driven man.
Exit the building. You walk down the street, and you follow the instructions. You go past the rich district. You go down the side road, which is still quite a large road and has enough market stalls and things on the side. There are hawkers hawking their wares. Meat, fish, cheese even if you want some.
Are there street names? Or... Because so far the Info Big guys have just described how to do it, but they haven't actually told us the names of the streets.
No, there aren't street names as of yet.
Okay.
I didn't think of that. There's the main street, and then there's the other main streets.
Yeah.
I was going to call it Port Street, but that felt a bit on the nose, given that
I mean-
you'd
Well, I
already
mean,
said
Station Street exists.
Yeah,
and, like,
multiple station
Yeah.
streets exist. Typically, you actually name the street after the major landmark.
Well,
You know, because it's, there's literally Flinders Street, and they made it Flinders Street Station.
true.
Melbourne Central.
So you head down the main street, and then you head down Market Street, and then you head down Port Street. And then you head down Desic Bar Street. But no, so you get to the port, and you know you're in Desic District as the guy told you. You stand out like a sore thumb a little bit, the two of you. You're from Skosh, and so while tieflings aren't uncommon in this area, your garb and getup and general disposition is uncommon in this area. And Ren, you're a magic fairy elf that changes seasons. What season are you today, by the way?
I'm spring today.
You're spring. That's cool.
I'm happy. You're not having a little edgy teenager with you today.
So yeah, you're in the middle of
I'm
port.
just always edgy.
So ahead of you, there is a stone wall that is constructed that stops the water from coming up. So it's not a beach; it's a specific dock. You can see there's wooden not gangplank, but wooden docks sort of thing, but in a sort of lattice jutting out structure that half acts as a seawall, stopping the current coming across, and providing a spot of general water tranquility for the boats to stay moored at. And there is a large group of boats in front of you, like maybe more than you can currently count from where you're standing, unless you took far too long to count them. And there's also just the general dock stuff. There's like the cranes that are used to take fish and cargo off boats. There is some buildings around, but a lot sparser than the Victorian sort of era denseness that you were in before. Where there were streets before, as you come to this port area, it's a far more open plan of buildings and walkable territories. There's no like, please walk here and please don't walk here, and it is just sort of buildings and rock and boats. What would you like to do?
Head to the Desic Bar.
You don't know where that is.
I pull someone aside from the street.
Sure.
What are we doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, mate. I'm a fisherman in these parts. What can I do for you? Would you like some fish?
No.
Where is the Desic Bar, please?
I don't generally deal with that sort of thing.
That's fine. I just want to know where it is so I can not stay away from it.
I want to stay away from it because it sounds like a scary place. That's why you should let me know at least where it is.
Honestly, guys,
I am a scary person.
I'd rather not deal with it if that's okay.
You don't have to deal with it. Just tell us where it is.
It's not the sort of thing that you just cross. It's not
That's
the sort of
fine.
thing I want to get in the way of.
You're not getting in the way of it. You're pointing at it.
People know. People who speak. You don't.
Who are these people that will speak? Point one out to me.
That's literally the opposite of what I'm trying to have achieved here. I don't want this coming back to me.
Okay.
This is not the sort of thing that I
I'll turn my back
keep
to
my
him.
head down and I keep on going.
Okay, I'll turn my back to him and use thaumaturgy to shout it. Where is the Desic Bar?
Oh my gosh, that's loud.
Across the port, echoes your cry as heads turn, and most of them eye you and look back down. A few eye you and keep an eye on you. There's a few bald, shaven, sort of big thug types a distance away who keep their eyes on you. Another stranger, more finely dressed in a sort of suit, is also keeping their eyes on you. And the man in the suit walks across.
Okay.
He stands in front of you. And what does he say? I gotta find his name again, sorry. Hello, you seem to be looking for the Deslok bar?
Yes.
Well, that's it's quite the thing to be looking for at this time. It's not a great time for it, say. We've been having some troubles in the family, and are you of important business? Because if you're not, we would happily send you on your way. If you could wait, now is not the time.
Look, my master is not the kind that waits. Arguably, he has been very patient. He had to wait for me to cross the sea to get here.
I don't know who you are.
I look down at the lantern on my side, and then look back.
It's not loading. Look. You seem like a lovely bunch. You could come in for a drink and a meal. We'll even consider it on the house, but today is really not the day. We are dealing with troubles. We're not looking for any sort of interaction right now.
This isn't the kind of interaction that isn't right now. This is a interaction that happens now whether or not you are in the mood to deal with it. If you didn't want it to happen, you would have paid back the money.
Who are you?
I am the enforcer for Seljuk.
Wow. I don't know what that is.
His face pales a bit. He's like, look, you can't just come into town and ask for an audience unannounced. You have to wait for these things.
You should have just paid back the money that you owe.
Look,
I wouldn't have to be in this godforsaken continent. I would be at home in the sun and the sand, but no, I am standing in dirty Port Town.
look,
Whoa.
fine, come with me. And he proceeds sort of along this little bit of a winding path further up the dock than you currently were to this well-established looking wooden building, and he leads you around the back to this sort of little shack part. You see a back door to the building, and you see the shack itself. And you can enter, which he does, and then gestures for you to follow. And he unclips a briefcase that he was carrying and pulls out a bunch of documents, and he goes, look, with the money we owe to Seljuk is not due for another time. In our accounts, it's not due for another 2 years. And you see a piece of paper before you that has a amount above it, which is a large sum of about 5,000 gold pieces. We're not prepared to pay this back right now, and there is no money available in our accounts to do such a thing.
May I roll an insight check on that?
You may absolutely roll an insight check on that.
Yay, I'm helping. I got a nat 1, I'm not helping.
Aside from what he's already told you, you see numbers on the page, and you're like, yeah, that's the number that the guy said.
This guy seems like he's telling the truth, if I'm being honest with you.
Do I get any vibes from my patrons?
No, you do not. And the guy in front of you, he's laid the information out, and he's pretty clear on it.
Can I read the document?
You can read the document.
Is it signed by Seljuk?
It's not signed by Seljuk.
Is
But-
there like a seal on it or anything?
No, it's like a information doc. It's like a big tax form that says income, outcome, owes, and not owes. You can tell the document says they're actually rather in the red at the moment. They're still afloat as a company, but give me a roll for your comprehension of this document.
What roll?
It would be a insight roll. What would be a good roll for like understanding documents?
Intelligence?
Like
Yeah.
one of the intelligence rolls.
Or just like a straight int roll?
Yeah, that works as well. I'm not going to need any of them, but that's fine. That's a nat 20.
Oh!
Fuck. You look at it and you see the Desert Company is quite in the red at the moment. They're staying afloat, so they've still got functional cash, but a lot of that functional cash isn't their functional cash. It's money that exists within them, but they're sort of... You can tell from this document that they've planned to take a big leap of faith when it comes to things. On their side of things, you know from Selyuk that this money was donated as more of a sure thing. Not a sure thing, like as all money is sort of a risk, but certainly not this much of a risk. As you can see, there's a few investors that are not receiving dividends for their payment at the moment. You can see on the document it does say that Selyuk owes this money, that we owe this money to Selyuk in 2 years' time, and you can give me another insight roll on that exactly. Or perception roll, I should say.
Okay.
But yeah, this
11.
is sort of a bit of an angel investor sort of thing that they're hoping that at some point this will all kick back in and kick back to the investors who they are obviously worried about it not getting back to.
But there's no nothing signed or like any kind of Celtic seal or anything on any of the documents.
Nothing signed, no seal. And furthermore, with the 11... What's your plus?
It is +2.
+2. With the 11... this is a handwritten document.
Cool. I look at it and I just be like, I will need to check with Celtic about this, but just tell your boss that I'm in town and would like a visit as soon as possible.
Yes, no, we can arrange that for you and your...
Friend.
Yeah, that.
We're
Friend.
friends.
Lovely. Would you like accommodation for your time?
No, we already have a place to stay.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. You can leave now and we'll be seeing you later. We'll get in contact with you. And he gestures towards the door.
I turn away him and leave.
Yeah, I follow along. Wow, we did really good. That was really threatening. Good job.
That worked relatively well. I don't need to check with
How much money do they owe?
5,000 gold.
I don't know how much, I don't know what that's worth,
Enough
to be honest.
to send someone across the continent to get it.
Also don't understand. But that sounds important. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then it is important. See, I was right the whole time. Pretty good.
Cool. So you exit from the room and the guy with the briefcase has clipped it back up on the desk and sort of exits the room with you, but he enters the back door of the building that you were in the shack next to. More of like an extension building, but still not fully connected. At least not by any doorway or walkway, aside from going outside and then back in. And there you stand sort of in this colder sort of area thanks to the ocean.
Is there any more other people that you need to threaten?
They were the main ones.
Oh,
Wait,
I don't have much stuff to do here, sorry. I came from another place that's pretty far away from here. Really far, probably. Not really. It was in a closet, not that. Only a little bit of time ago that one time. But, it was still kind of far away. Maybe it's technically it could be kind of far, but I'm not sure, It could be far. It could be right here. I don't know.
Ishak's face, I presume, slowly dropping. The eyelids,
It's not even sleeping, it's just boredom. It's just
Yeah.
You're not good at distance, are you?
Distance? No, but kind of. Actually, I traveled quite a few distances. I mean, I traveled from my home all the way over to here, and that's pretty far. Maybe. I don't really know. It's like...
Ren, can you roll me a perception check?
What is it? 21.
It's a 21. As you're looking around, sort of absently mindedly swiveling your head this way and that, you see these snail trails on the ground that are glowing in a vaguely glittery sort of way.
Whoa. Do I see like the snails or just the trails?
Just the trails.
Yo, do you see that? Look at that thing over there.
And I point this trails out to Isha.
Have you seen one of those before?
You mean the snail?
Do they look like normal snail trails or do they look like fancy snail trails?
They look like fancy snail trails.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but we can't see the snail. The snail's not anywhere here. And look how pretty it looks. Should we follow it? Do you have anything to do today? No, you don't. We should follow it.
Okay, we will go follow bugs.
Well, we already went with your thing of like threatening a guy. Now we're gonna go look at snails.
Okay, we can look at snails.
You're really good friends. You like don't disagree with me. That's really awesome.
Well,
I would like to follow the trails.
roll me another perception check as you travel along the shark behind.
Yeah, so that's only a 25.
Damn. What did you roll?
A 17.
Okay, that's pretty solid.
I have a +8.
So you follow along these snail trails, which break up here and there. People have walked across them in certain parts, but it leads you to the edge of the dock where they sort of go down a bit and to the left into the fishing docks from where you're standing. And you see this sort of like... There's a group of fishermen that are sitting over this large sort of tunnel pipe that sort of connects from the ocean into the city as this stream flows in and out of it. And that's where the snail trails lead into.
Into the pipe?
Into the pipe.
Is that a sewage pipe?
Roll me an insight check on it.
11 again.
The water doesn't look dirty.
Does the water smell dirty?
Not particularly. Not here.
Okay,
Do you want to roll me a history check?
sure.
Whoa.
9.
9.
You remember that they've told you that the sewer is further up at the edge of the dock. At the edge of the... where the water meets the city.
Okay, so it's just a pipe.
It seems to be intake, not outtake.
Okay.
I've never seen one of these before.
Never seen a pipe.
No.
I like look across at like gutter networks and stuff. I'm just like,
Look, okay, when I was from, there were like trees and really big mushrooms everywhere, and then there was like little houses and rocks and grass and animals
and
and
the horses talk.
flower. The horses don't talk. It's the birds that talk.
Oh, wonderful.
Jesus.
I've always wanted the chicken to tell me how it feels as I kill it.
That's so depressing. A passerby looks across at you from where they're standing and just...
What are you looking at?
Well, that's interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend that you didn't say that, and that's fine. Okay,
So the snail trails go off the dock into the pipe.
They go into the
and
pipe,
there
yeah.
are fishermen around.
Yeah, there's currently fishermen sort of trailing their hooks over the front of this pipe into the water.
Okay.
Presumably, hopefully, to get a snag.
I would like to go up to them.
and be like, "Hey, have you seen any like really cool snails lately? Really cool ones?
No.
Why?"
He looks to his friend who also sort of quietly shakes their head. They're in a black beanie with a big beard. And the third one, clean shaven, also just sort of raises an eyebrow at the thought of snails.
Snails.
Pretty wacky.
Whoa.
Random, like, crazy elf ask question, depressed looking tiefling behind.
No, we're mostly fishermen. We deal with...
Yeah, but like, do you
Fish.
see like the trails everywhere on the floor here?
The edge of the pipe is sort of like a bit mossy and covered in its... And the trail is a little... A lot of things are pretty damp around this area, although the trail is the only thing that sparkles. The guy sort of looks across at it and goes... Yeah, God, they're rolling so bad. They haven't rolled above a 5.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's a trail right there. What of it?
I don't know. So like, I'm not actually from here, so like, do you know of anything about like fancy snails? do you need your dice? Do you
Let me roll it once for one roll. As one of them sort of like pulling slightly on their rod. Natural 1. and like reels. I've got something.
Whoa!
And up from the water comes an old shoe that that he's found. A shoe. Yes.
Oh. Well, do you know what like leads in through that pipe over there? Do you know what's in it?
Natural 20 this time.
Yeah!
Wow, this guy really fucking nice in sewers.
Oh boy, I love the sewers. It's my favourite thing. That's the intake pipe for the city's sort of water supply. There's a closer to the castle. There's actually a sort of purification point where it's heated up a lot, and a lot of the I presume the salt gets taken out. I've always wanted to see it, honestly. It's one of the magical wonders of this city.
It's magical?
Yeah, no, it is. The big old heating chamber. I guess they could have done it regular with wood and stuff, but it's a lot of wood to heat up that much water, innit? I mean, even from as it's connected from the outside to the inside, you've got to make sure that the temperature doesn't leak out too much and sort of disperse back into the ocean, because this water is actually pretty good at transferring energy into sorts. But it's beautiful in there. It's I think there was an architect actually who chose it very specifically for its a magical point. It's got great properties in it. Is there more you want to know about the sewer system of the city? I mean, it's not really the sewer system of the city, see, there's a different... Fuck you, speaker. The speaker just turned off for anyone curious. Yeah. There's a different system that takes out this shit, because you don't want that mixing with the water you drink and stuff like that in the city. But because the capital's so far away from the actual like ocean itself, it's a good water supply, isn't it?
Tisha, do you think we should go to like the magical place, or do you think I should like crawl into the pipe over there?
What do you mean? That is the magical place.
If I go through there, I'll get to the magical place?
I mean, I guess you can go from in the middle of the city down, but the pipe will... I would advise the middle of the city down, but the pipe goes there as well. It's a bit hard to get. You need permission to go from the middle of the city down.
Oh. Do you have that?
Do I have permission to go to the pipes of the city?
Yeah.
Of course I do. Why don't we go to the middle of the city and I will just politely ask the guard? No, I do not have permission.
Oh, okay.
These 3 fishermen sitting across from you, just sort of like partaking in your conversation, but not really.
That was like what did I say? Like 6'8" tiefling.
Yeah, you're humongous.
Do I fit in the pipe? I'm looking at the pipe.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty big pipe.
Okay.
I'm 5'4". Hello. So you don't have permission? Do you know where we can get the permission to go to the magical place?
I've never been myself. I've just read about it, honestly. It's in the public library.
I look at the pipe and I'm just like, if you wish to go into the water supply of the city, we can go through the pipe.
You wanna go through the pipe? Do you think that'll be fun?
I think
I
it
think
is
it would
something
be
to do.
fun.
I imagine that you are like a small dog or something, and I just have to walk you until you're tired.
So true.
And then you will go back and you will sleep, and I will cry.
Why are you gonna cry?
Don't worry about it.
Are you okay?
That's brave of a shark. Real men cry.
Would you like a hug when you're crying?
No.
Kai doesn't want that either.
That pretty bad boy is crying.
Why does nobody want a hug?
It ruins the brooding.
I mean, you know, if like getting the permission's gonna be really hard, then it would just be easier to sneak through the pipes, don't you think?
I wasn't going to sneak.
Oh, well, I don't think you really have to sneak. I don't think there's any like scary guy in the pipes that could come and kill us.
If the guy is scarier than me, I would be genuinely
You're not that
impressed.
scary.
I look at one of the fishermen, and I just look him dead in the eye and say, "Jump in the water."
What?
I just look at one of the fishermen and just tell him to jump in the water.
I don't want to. I just got my boot from the water.
Intimidation.
I don't want to go back in.
Is it less than a 10?
I guess.
1.
2.
Fuck yeah, I win the intimidation roll.
And honestly, this dude probably has a negative to his like ability to control him stats. So he's like, I really don't want to. And he sort of stands up and he's holding his fishing pole and he's like, can I put my fishing pole down?
I nod.
He hands the fishing pole to his second dude. It's the dude who just got the boot from the you notice that one of his shoes was missing.
Take your other boot off as well. I would feel bad if you lost both shoes into the sea.
Thank you. He takes his other shoe off. And this is the clean-shaven one, by the way, who is jumps into the sea with a sort of just vaguely defeated look on his face of confusion more than anything else.
That's some kind of magical power.
Yeah, it's called being tall and scary and having large pointy stick.
I'm not very good at swimming in this current.
Do you think he's gonna die?
I just shrug.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
What is it with 1s and 20s today? Can I leave now?
Sure. I was just proving a point.
Okay, the point wasn't really proven because you seem kind of chill about going into the water.
What was that?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just come out of the water now.
You see this guy sort of pulls off his coat a little bit, revealing like a broad set of shoulders and a good set of muscles on him as he overarms his way to freestyle. He freestyles his way to a ladder that's appropriately on the side for safety.
If we were to go into that pipe right there, would you tell on us to anyone?
This time it's the bearded fisherman you're talking to. Like, no. Oh. Yeah, no, I hate government. Why do you think I'm fishing here?
Are you not supposed to fish here?
It's a grey area.
I'm gonna respect.
I don't have permission, I'll tell you that much.
Whoa.
If you don't tell on me, I won't tell on you.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what your name is, so how can I tell on you?
I have no idea what your name is, either.
No, my name's Ren.
Okay, well...
I like, well, you're right. Like,
I'm sorry, I have a negative int.
I also have a negative in. It's fine. I got good charisma.
Okay.
17.
Well,
Insight.
that leaves you with...
Well,
at this dock with this gentleman.
I wanna go into the pipe. We're gonna go on a pipe adventure.
Holly's gonna come back next session, and we're gonna have to begin Holly in like the rooms while you're stuck in like.
It's gonna be really funny. Like Holly walks to the street, you just see Ishak crawling out of a storm drain, covered in like seaweed.
I was like Nico for a minute.
He's covered in seaweed, holding like a giant like swordfish in his arms. Just
Some of
gestures
you like
a
tied the
tongue.
seaweed together to make like a leash for wrens that run away.
A giant leaf.
It's like a Ninja Turtles here, so like the drain just explodes out the top, Ishak crawls out at 6'8", like fish in one arm, and then holding Ren suspended by like a seaweed harness in the other.
Well, so there is a ladder that goes down to the ocean.
Mm.
The ocean separates from the pipe a little bit. There is like a walkway on one side of the pipe that seems to be like the maintenance sort of paths that they have, but there's only on the right side of the pipe if you're looking in, and that doesn't have a ledge to get up onto it aside from just hooking yourself up onto it. You pull, you push. There is a light amount of current that actually leads into the pipe, but not a huge amount, but enough that you believe it would be something you would have to fight against if you were to swim, or go with it, or you'd have to figure out your way around this current.
Okay, how much, how big is the pipe?
That's a great question.
Sorry.
The pipe's about 2 people across.
Oh, fuck! 2 Eshops or 2 wrens?
Pick the middle ground between you.
Okay.
So like 6 foot.
More like
So 12 foot across.
Yeah.
So that's 12 subway sandwiches.
Well, we're doing this on D&D rules, and so it's weird, and I don't understand it. It's like 12 Subway sandwiches.
I don't know how big 12 subway. 1.
The pathway is next to it is not wide enough for you to walk 2 abreast, and would be a vague threatening to you to fall back in.
In the water.
Yeah.
How, if you were to go in the pipe, how tall is, the water going in?
So, the pipe's sort of like a third of the way up in the pipe is how the water flows in. Probably a little bit higher than a third, but the way Ishak, if you imagine if Ishak were to stand in this pipe from you looking down over the top,
Like this much?
a little bit like that much, Ishak would probably have to lean his head a bit to stand in the pipe properly, or duck a bit, or it's like there's room enough to swing a sword if you were to swing it out across the edge, but not particularly room enough for Ishak to stand without sort of pushing Horn up against the gradient of the curve.
Okay. So I didn't really think about how you were gonna fit in the pipe exactly.
Ishak would fit.
Are you fine with just walking like this for a little bit?
I guess.
Do you get any neck pains?
I've got a head pain right now.
Okay, well that's not a neck pain, is it? Because you're gonna have a lot of neck pains after walking like this for
I was just going to crouch a bit.
Oh, you could do that too. I mean, that's you go crouch more into the water. Do you like water?
I don't mind water. I was going to use the pathway on the side.
I mean, that's fine. We can go in the pipe then. So
As you're
there's
holding this conversation, you notice a very wet gentleman pull his jacket back on and just sit back down on the dock, and just continue to fish from this point. Hello again.
Hi.
No, he spoke differently.
Okay, so there's a ladder that goes down into on the maintenance thing or into the water.
Oh, so there's a ladder that goes into the water
Uh-huh.
further from it. That's like a safety ladder for if people fall in from the dock.
Okay.
And there is no ladder that goes into the pipe. The pipe is.
And there was a maintenance path, right?
There was a maintenance
Where's
path
the maintenance path?
on the right side of the pipe if you were looking in. Do you know this New York subway, the New York sewer system?
No.
You know the Ninja Turtles, how they walk along in that little bit and then there's the bit where the crocodiles are in the cartoons that are in there just sort of hanging out?
Oh.
No? So there's
Lucky, help me.
there's the water bit and there's imagine a footpath.
A footpath.
Imagine it's like a road and a footpath. That the road is the water and there's
so
a
to
footpath
get into
bit.
the pipe, do we have to go in the water?
Yes.
Oh,
Unless you jump.
Ishak jumps.
You would have to jump out and in. Okay. give me an athletics check for that jump.
23.
It didn't matter.
I face step.
I don't need petty to... Yeah.
Would you like to describe how you jump?
Kind of using the glaive as like a lever. Ishak kind of jumps down and kind of uses like the edge of like the hilt to kind of flick himself into the pipe.
Yeah. Like a glorious little reverse pole vaulter. Ishak flings around and swings feet onto this little stretch of walkway, and just sort of lands there.
I mean,
How does phase step work?
you can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Okay. So, Ishak would have to stand a little forward, and then Ren would have to, like, hoik half their body over the edge of the dock.
That's fine, because I can teleport as a bonus action, so technically I could use, like, my action to, like, jump in the air, and then, like, bonus action phase step.
Which would you like to do?
I want to jump. That sounds cooler. Just, like, jump and be like, I'm gonna go in the water! And then I teleport, I'm like, just kidding, it was a joke.
And that's exactly what happens.
And I sneeze.
Oh yeah, roll me a constitution save.
What?
Oh, sorry. This is the effect of my face steps.
9.
You sneeze.
Whoa. You know, that's not as weird. I made the bug sneeze a while ago.
What?
Yeah, you've never met Jerry. I forgot about that. He's a great guy. We should
Oh,
probably...
the bugs talk as well, do they?
Yeah, but even Kai spoke to this one, so...
Oh. Wonderful.
As you find yourself in this tunnel now, there was sort of a bit of moss around the opening of it, and you see it lead into very much the darkness. You sort of see, as you are in the darkness of the tunnel at least, you see this snail trail that travels along the ceiling in a sort of windy way down the tunnel. Actually still has probably even more of a sparkle to it now that you have seen it.
Let's go! When I look down the tunnel, do I see, like, any movement other than the water or anything? Any people there? Any other cool things other than the snail trail?
Not, like, it is very dark as
I
you
do
go
have
into
dark
this tunnel.
vision.
Same.
It's still very dark. Like, dark vision doesn't mean you can see in the dark. It means you can see in the dark better, right?
Yes.
Like, this tunnel goes into, like, pitch
I don't need
black
to see,
darkness.
like, all the way at the back. I just want to know if I see
Yeah.
anything at all.
Dim light's like bright night, and darkness is dim light. So it looks dim.
From the way an eye would work, you can see a lot further than the regular person, but it would still get, like, quite dark even for you at a certain point, because there is not a light source in here aside from the light from the day, which is currently, the sun is sort of, it's a late morning sun, which is not a good angle for the light entering this tunnel. The most you get is the reflections off the water, as the sun is actually perpendicular to the opening of the tunnel as it travels across.
I guess I'd light a torch.
That works too. But you sense no movement is the biggest thing.
Okay,
To
yeah.
answer your question,
Thank you.
not currently with your passive perception of like 18.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
I see.
I'm now carrying a lit torch so I can see good.
Cool. Yeah.
That's great. I don't have a torch. Yeah, I do. I lied.
Well, the flames dance on the walls and so in the water as well, because this is a moving stream that gently travels its way into the city. Like a medium gentleness to be exact. Like you would feel its pressure if you were to stand in it. And you walk along, presumably following the snail trail.
Yes. As we're doing this
yeah.
as well, I presume that there's echoes as you speak in here. Ren
Yeah.
is being annoying with the echoes, just being like, oh, 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 oh.
Does the shark do anything of
It's
the
constant.
sort of?
That's all I'm doing.
You shut just glowers.
This is such a great combo. Let's do it right here.
One speaks like way too much, and the other's like, "Yep."
That's great.
Yep.
Now just tell me. He's not a persuasive man, he's an intimidating man.
It's not persuasive.
He's also good at lying.
A what?
No.
Ishak's good at lying.
Oh, I thought you said he's got a lion.
I can have a lion.
I mean, sort of, but probably not here right now.
No.
By the way, guys,
Here, he meets Sir Sisu.
you follow into this tunnel.
Yes.
The darkness still around you, but not so much with the torch. The snail lines travel along the ceiling, and you get to a sort of a large collection room with a few tunnels that meet up to it and flow into it. And on the ceiling, you see these snails that have these beautiful shells on them that sparkle with a light of their own. Slightly dimmed by the torch, but the trails obviously lead their way to them. And they sort of hang in what appears to be a grouping of some sort at the very least, attached to the top of the ceiling, quietly milling their way about.
How many are there?
7?
Jesus Christ, it's a lot of snails.
I want to crowns around and just like, so like what?
They're pretty big snails as well, I might add. Like, and then, like that big?
Okay.
I look across around like, so like, what, do you want to eat them or something? And
No, I just wanted to see them. Like, look at the pretty shells. Have I, like, seen these types of snails before anyway?
You could give me a nature check.
Fuck yes. I'm scared you're gonna make me do a history. Actually,
they're both intelligence based.
that's still a -1.
That's okay.
No, it's not, because that's a 5.
5? These snails do look familiar to you.
Yeah, you know, I've like seen them before sometime. Before.
Did you want to eat them or?
No, I don't want to eat them. How tall up is the ceiling?
Not that tall because my head's meant to graze it.
No, not in this room.
Because
Oh.
it's like the room with like lots of tunnels.
This room has a walkway around its edge that surrounds the full walkway with like little bridges over the water bits, and it is not. It's a cylinder with like a little dome on top, but like don't think of it as a dome. Think of it like a little bit of a raise. It is more than enough room for you to stand up with about another half of you to go. So like 10, 12 feet high. Don't judge me.
Can I poke one of the snails to make leave?
Yeah, you can.
Can I like hold an action for if it falls? I want to try and catch it.
Yeah. I guess roll me a attack roll. Because it's not that it's hard to hit, it's that it's like a little distance away. It's like...
That's a crit fail. No, it's not a crit fail, it's a 7. 13. A
What
crit
did you roll
fail's the
on the
moon.
dice?
7.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
It's not a crit fail. The crit fail is the moon. The 7 just looks like a 1.
Yeah.
Because why would the fuck would the moon be a 7? That would be confusing as fuck.
The moon sort of does look like a 7.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make it the 1 and the 1 be the 7 if that is the case, because it looks more like a 7. It actually looks like an A with a line removed from it. The dice is very hard to read.
That's fair enough.
Anyway, that's a 13 to hit the snail.
Cool. Well, it does indeed. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to knock it from the ceiling or simply scrape it a little bit?
Just poke it.
You prod it, and the snail sort of wobbles gently in its gelatinous form. More than a regular snail would, you presume, having seen snails? Genuine question. Do you think Ishak has seen snails?
Yeah, well, it has travelled this land a bit.
Sure.
Would have
Probably
been other places as well.
wobbles more slightly. Its light from its shell shimmering on the room and the ground. What are you doing with your torch in this moment?
Just holding it.
Just holding it, one arm glaive, one arm torch. I guess you're tall enough. And yeah, that's all that happens with this glowing snail.
Did it do anything? Did it release any magical sparkles?
I mean, I'm not dead.
I don't think it would have killed you.
I hope it wouldn't have
Charlie.
killed me. That would have been a terrifying snail.
Yeah, and then I'd have to explain to Kai that you were dead, and I don't think Kai would like that.
It's a beautiful snail.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Do I know what kind of snail it is, and can I eat it?
Oh my god.
You can roll me a nature check as well.
It's also -1. There's a 15 there.
That's better than me.
You have actually never seen a snail like this.
Do I think I could eat it?
You know it's generally dangerous to eat snails more so than any other bug.
Really?
Yeah. That's real.
There's a guy that died from eating a slug.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Don't eat snails, people.
That's right, French people. Don't eat them.
Well, if you prepare them in a very specific way, but you gotta be real
It's
specific.
like pufferfish.
Oh,
You can eat it, but you gotta prepare it.
Oh,
in
yeah,
a very
okay.
specific way.
That's a fair approximation.
I am genuinely surprised by that fact. I don't know if snails are poisonous. I thought
They're not poisonous. They're just bad for us in the specific, like they're not attempting to be poisonous. They're bad for us specifically. But
snail hep C.
you could probably eat them with the right. Yeah, you reckon you could eat them?
Do you think they're valuable?
Yeah, I mean, look how pretty they are. And there's like,
Okay. Sorry, Ren, hold this bag for me out there. Just underneath them.
why? What are we doing?
You said they were valuable.
Yeah, but like as like friends.
Oh. It's not valuable. Money is valuable.
And so are friends.
The echoes of So Are Friends surrounds you in this chamber as silence follows that sentence.
Yes. Valuable friends.
Okay, well, I'm gonna at least keep one if you knock them down. That's my friend.
So I can sell like 6 of them, maybe.
Depends if I'm like really like a good friend with the one that I like talk to.
I feel like there's a lot of conditions for me doing the work and trying to abduct snails.
You're the one that's trying to abduct them. I just wanted to look at them. Look how pretty they are.
The person I sell them to may also want them to be their friends, or may want to eat them. I don't know. Hell, they may make a paste and use it for potions.
The snails sloughy sludge across the ceiling. That's a weird gesture to do.
I want to pick it up, but I'm too short.
I ran at a snail.
What are you doing?
I ran at a snail.
Does Ren accept
Yeah, Ren was. I want to.
this? Ishak grabs Ren sort of just underneath the armpits and athletics.
Unnatural 20.
What are you trying to do? Are you just throwing up as
Yeah, literally just throwing up at the snails. Go grab one.
Ren's face, like your face goes like way too close to the ceiling for it to be fun. There's a snail right in front of you, but sort of like a little closer than you expected. Oh god. The snail barks at you. Hi, puppy. Would you would you like to roll a check to grab the snail?
What would that be?
That would be a dexterity movement of some kind. So you could use sleight of hand, you could use flat dexterity,
They're
or
both
you
the
could
same.
try and use acrobatics.
All of them are the same.
Cool.
I'm gonna roll my jester dice. 10.
That's a really interesting question. If that's high enough of a save.
It's just a snail.
Exactly. It's not trying to. It couldn't try and dodge you.
Yeah.
You grab onto its shell as best you can. Can you roll again for strength to grip onto this snail?
Can I use athletics?
You can use athletics, especially since I'm making you roll twice to give us more of a confirmation on what happens.
Okay. 17.
17, perfect. And you hear the as the snail pops off the wall, gently caressed in your chest, as you suddenly make your way back down to the floor.
Are you gonna catch me?
Isha?
I'm gonna let you go in the water.
Ren, could you roll me a dexterity saving throw? Acrobatics.
What did the snail?
18.
18. With the beautiful magic of spring, you sort of gently drift down in this circular motion like one of those leaves that is the helicopter leaf,
I am a helicopter leaf.
and land lightly on your feet, snail in hand, beautiful and glowing across your upper chest and chin in a sort of spooky Halloween light. It's beautiful.
Now that I'm closer with the snail and I have it in my hands, can I do like a more further inspection on if I know what the snail is and whatnot? Because I'm looking at it more. It's close. I'm looking at the shell. I'm like,
If you want to ask about the specifics of how the snail functions, you can roll me a nature check. If you want to try and recall further about your familiarity with the snail, you can roll me a history check.
I will roll a history and I will give myself guidance. I forgot that that's a thing.
I will give the help action.
You cannot in this situation.
How are
will
you gonna
not
help
give
me
it.
remember?
You could roll yourself, but you sort of already rolled.
Yeah.
But you could also.
Can I try can I value or praise the shell?
Yeah, you can.
10.
10. But it's been a rough
I
night.
have negatives.
What kind of check is a value or praise?
Good question. Hit me up with a prompt me with some.
Investigation?
Nature.
I think investigation's a good one.
Because like, if
like-
Ishak doesn't know fully about the snail, it would be like
Yeah.
investigating to see like the pearlescent stuff. And, like,
Yeah. And
Three.
like, trying to like guess the market and stuff. Damn, that's one pretty snail shell right there, boy. Ooh wee. Yeah. It looks pretty and it glows. You haven't seen a snail shell that glows before. Ain't that funky? Damn, you really wish you were cutting off some guy's hand right now. You rolled a 10.
I did roll a 10.
You think you've seen it before, and you don't know where or when, but you also haven't been that many places. So if you're familiar with something, it's probably from places you've been before.
Well, you know, I haven't really seen any of these over here in like this world. Where are we? This place that we're at? So it's probably from my home somewhere, but like, why would they be here? That's kind of crazy.
The snail in your hands is sort of like wobbling gently side to side as its flesh tries to like grip onto things around it with little success, considering it's an air prison.
I like look at it and I'm just like, so they are extraplanar creatures?
What's that word mean?
From not this world.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe from the closet like I was at.
They are glowing rainbow.
The rainbow elf is holding the rainbow salad. Yeah, we both came from the closet.
I'm glad these snails are finally accepting themselves.
I look at the bag in my hand. I look at the snail and I'm like, no, I cannot be bothered.
Are the snails reacting in any certain way, like the one in my hands, or like the ones up there reacting in any certain way? Because I have like grabbed one of their friends.
The ones on the ceiling aren't reacting in any certain way aside from continuing snailing,
Wow.
which involves eating the moss off the ceiling, and sort of generally enjoying being in this dark and closed space. Although they're sort of slowly moving away from your torchlight, but not at any great speed that it's of concern. They don't seem to obviously react in any way to the snail that you now have. As I said before, is wiggling slowly about in its sort of jelly wobbly form in air prison. The shell glows far more than the snail does. In fact, the snail doesn't really glow at all on its own, whereas the shell actually has the light to it that sort of... It's not a rave light, but it's like a gently changing sort of mood light that this is.
Mm.
And a dim one at that, although beautiful in darkness nonetheless.
Okay. What I would like to do,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to pass the snail over to Isha. Can you hold this for like 10 minutes?
Just like one hand, I hold the snail shell.
Just like a basketball?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would
Snail.
like to ritually cast detect magic.
Cool.
Yes. So, because I'm gonna cast it ritually, it takes like 10 minutes for me to cast it. So for the duration, I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. I can use my action to see a faint aura of any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and I learn its school of magic, if any. Magic
D&D
snails!
Schools of magic. Ugh. So you learn that the snail itself is magic. In these 10 minutes that we stand here in this rather peaceful little moment.
Ren is like grabbing little trinkets from their bag and like putting on the floor like these ones here, and that's like the ritual. Just taking out all the shiny things and trinkets I've collected. And just it's really cool.
You notice that the snail is of the alteration school of magic.
Ooh.
Is that one of the ones I looked up on Wiki? The magic types.
Abjuration,
Yeah.
conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and transmutation.
They probably there's no transmutation on this list, so it's probably transmutation is the one that they wrote as alteration.
Yeah.
You know that the snail is a transmutation type of magic, and you know that the other snails are all transmutation types of magic, and you within 30 feet of you, you sense no more magics.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that was a transmutation one. Catapult. And jump. Long strider. Ooh,
The
magnify
snail
gravity.
cast catapult on Ren.
And the snail casts jump on itself, just like a jumping spider, just face hugger jump at you. No, it
See, the
doesn't.
thing is Ren even smart enough to know the different types of fucking schools of magic?
Oh, so it's
Like-
polymorphs.
Like, instead of like transmutation, it would be like a smaller word.
This is a little bit of an insight into the snail as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a magical creature, which I don't know if that means. Do magical creatures get their own schools of magic? Like,
You can
is it?
just say you can tell the creature is magical. You don't need to be able to name the school off the top of the head. If it's like a spell or an enchantment, it's helpful to know the school.
Yeah, no, it's
'Cause it tells you, hey, this wall's gonna explode. But in like creatures and stuff, you could like, creature's magical and it's kind of got an aura from this place.
yeah. You can tell that the creature is magical.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really do think that the snail came from my home. I'm gonna take it back now. Give it back to me, please.
Can I stick it to the to Red's face?
No. No. Is it just on my hand when I block?
Yeah,
That worked, I guess.
like grips around your hand, sort of a little bit over the top, and sort of a bit to your wrist as well. You've got small enough hands. It wobbles as you do that. Remember, it's got this jelly sort of wobble to it.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep doing this now. This stuff's gonna fall off.
So, like, I don't know what else we need to do. We found the snails. Do you want to go to that magical place?
You mean the place where they purify water?
Yeah, well, the guy with the stick in the dock said that it was fun and magical.
You want to climb out of a storm drain and scare people and say we are sewer people and cause a mass panic?
That does sound kind of fun. Can I keep the snail, though?
Of course you can. Add to the character. Is there a ladder that I can use to climb out somewhere? That just goes to
Yeah,
a
which
random
tunnel
storm
should we
drain.
go down first? Because we're in, like, this little production room.
There is a ladder where you currently are that leads up to a porthole, but you know you're not very deep into the city from where you are, and that you could
I
go
like point
deeper.
further down. We're just like, we head to like the rich bit and we just scare them shitless for no apparent reason.
Okay, well, do you know where the rich part is?
That away. I just point in a direction. We're just going to go somewhere and scare someone and hopefully end up in somewhere that it's kind of funny.
Okay, well, which way is that way?
Well, okay, so I presume you're pointing the direction away from where you came at the very
Yeah.
least, which shortens down your options. So I'm going to roll a d4.
Can I roll D4?
You can roll the d4 if you want.
Yeah.
And as I'll say, there's 4 sort of options that are main in the direction that you've generally gestured to. And we'll figure out which pipe you go down.
3.
3.
This is player agency at its finest. I'd point in a direction that way.
Yeah, you travel down this tunnel, and it is pretty solid, pretty good. There are all these sort of like little rings that go up the wall sometimes. You know, like the rings of a barrel? They sort of look like that, but attached to the ceiling at parts. As you travel further along the tunnel, they become more frequent. And at a certain point, it's almost like a pattern on the ceiling that so frequently does it occur. And eventually you find a point with a ladder. Do you want to stop at this ladder, or do you want to continue?
Can I roll like a perception check to see if I hear a bunch of people above?
You may. Lol.
21.
21, damn. Okay, so no, you don't hear a bunch of people above this one.
No, we shouldn't go this. That's like nobody up there. We need to go to a different one.
Okay.
Also, I have a spell that can make me look even scarier.
That sounds like fun. I'm just going to yell very loudly.
Oh, that sounds fun. At this point, Ren's like put the snail on their head. And have the snail on their head. Just because it's easier than just having it on their arms.
The snail... the snail seems calm and accepting of its fate.
Ren doesn't have speak with animals. Ren's just like, these animals are my friends and I can't speak with them. I wish Kiko was here.
I also don't know if snail counts as animal.
Mm-hmm.
And like...
Maybe Kiko can't speak to snails.
I
Like-
mean, well, speak with animals, I think, does cover insects because
Yeah?
because there's no speak with insects spell.
Well...
So I assume animals are because you can speak to trees, and I figured before they were like, you can speak to trees, they were like, you can speak to a fucking grasshopper.
I just don't know how is the thing. I gotta...
How do you speak to bush?
How do I speak to Bush? Well, I sort
Hello,
of...
Bush. How was the invasion of Afghanistan?
I imagine... Oh. Great question. The whole cabinet's been asking that for decades. But I imagine with like a bush, it's sort of vibes, you know, in the same way that the trees sort of communicate through chemical signals, and the way that like a giraffe will chew on one tree and the rest of the trees will smell the thing and increase the acidity of their leaves. I don't know how you'd speak to a snail. I don't know if they communicate that much. Like, I think they just sort of vibe on their own and then die.
Respectable.
And as you're traveling along this tunnel, the snail thinking to itself all these thoughts of, how the fuck do I even talk to these people? You come across another ladder. The frequency of the rings remains the same.
I would like to see if I can hear anybody up above this ladder.
Go for it.
I dressed the dice. They weren't funny, right? 16 only. Kind of disappointing.
You can hear a vague clamor above you.
Okay.
There is some footsteps. There is like the sound of wheel on stone.
Can I climb up ladder a bit and listen to like the drain pipe? Like the lid of the ladder?
Yeah. Would you like to roll a perception check as well?
Sure.
But yeah, oh, I might have a sound effect for this. Lucky, use your foot to turn the speaker on. Yeah, I've only got so many sound effects on here, so this is one of the few sound effects I may have. Okay. Let's see what this one is.
Yes, a good sound effect.
It's highway near waterfront.
Oh wait, so sounds playing?
Yeah.
Do you want me to bump it? No, that's for volume. I'm sorry.
I don't think. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Did you roll a check for me, Lucky?
Yeah, I rolled an 8.
Oh, yeah. So you can hear pretty much the same stuff that Ran can. Can you hear it?
Kind of. Oh, wow. What are you playing?
That's as loud as it goes.
Is this the same one?
No.
So I hear murmuring like there's a group of people around.
Yeah.
And I like poke my eyes out a little bit from the hole.
Roll me a stealth check, presuming you're wanting to stay.
I have disadvantage on these. I have good stealth though. 13.
Okay. Well, you poke your eyes out, and there's this sort of street that's got a bookstore that's quite close to you. It's not a street that you recognize, and it's got sort of like a few sort of residential sort of houses, like a sort of, you know how in Amsterdam they're all sort of like layered on top of each other, or again like Victorian times. And it just seems to be a general passageway towards more things, but there's a medium amount of people
Is
on
there
the street.
rats in the sound effect?
I think it's birds, but
Swarms of birds screaming.
this is small outdoor marketplace, Lucky. Respect small outdoor marketplace as you stand in small outdoor marketplace. Or they're mostly indoor, like an indoor-outdoor sort of vibe.
It's like Quinvic.
You ever walked along down Springvale Way? How they've sort of got the stores that extend out a little bit
Kind of
from...
like Carnegie.
No, Carnegie, the stores are more inside. Like, the stores sort of extend out onto the street, like
So
the
like
store...
some of the fruit and veg places in Carnegie.
That's a great one, yeah. Like some of the food and veg places in Carnegie.
I don't know shit.
Do you know like a greengrocer on the street vibe? Yeah, that.
Can they hear the sound effects?
I don't know.
Chat, tell me if you can hear these bomb-ass
Ash,
sound effects.
can you hear the sound effects?
Next up, we hit children group ambience, so get ready for that banger. After that one, it's ambient hum of air conditioner.
What?
If we keep this going, it hits ambient hum of air conditioner.
Oh, wonderful. That really fits the fantasy vibes.
You've got your head poked out of this little sewer drain.
Yep.
No one spotted you, by the way.
Okay, how busy is it?
Mediumly.
Do you think that is a good time to scare people?
I think we could find busier.
Okay.
I backed my head back down, closing the drain. I want to find a place that is bustling, like a main road or something, and just really induce panic.
Okay. Just let me know before we go scared, because I'll make myself look really scary.
I'm going to try throw the drain at someone.
Okay, you need to tell me what scary looks like, by the way, because scary, I could look pretty scary, but I think my scary is different from your scary, and you know more scary about other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
Just cover yourself in algae or something and make strange noises.
Oh no, I could make myself look scary.
Okay.
Do you know anyone that looks scary that we've seen before?
Nothing's really scared you,
Kai's
Chuck.
not that scary. Kiko's not scary. Jerry, that's kind of
Do
scary.
you know what a man made of rats would look like?
A man made of rats? Well, I know what rats look like.
You could give me an imagination roll that's some sort of wisdom-based roll to figure out in your mind what a man made of rats looks
It's
like.
like swarms of rat just sewn together.
I got a 12 on my imagination roll. I don't know what I should add to that.
Your wisdom.
Just my wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a 17. I have a +5.
Yeah, you can sort of vaguely imagine what a man made of rats looks like.
Yeah, I could do that.
You're perfect.
Yeah.
You will be rat man.
I'll use this kind of voice too.
I'm just going to throw the drain head at someone.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Scary though.
Very beautiful. You continue along your way down the sewer until you find another ladder.
Do we hear anything?
Yes, you do this time. It's slightly louder. It's louder in a way that you think this is a busier road. You actually do hear the clacks of wheels, of proper wheels moving speedily one way and the other.
A perception check to see how busy it is.
With a stealth roll? Are you poking your head up?
No, just
Okay.
listening.
Perception check, give me this roll.
18.
18. It is fairly busy from what you can tell. You can tell there is a large amount of... There's it's a busy street.
Okay. I point out and nod.
Okay. I would like to cast disguise self into my imagination of what I imagine a man made of rats looks like.
Genuinely
That
terrifying.
still needs to have like all limbs because disguise self I can't like.
Yeah, well, you can change your form slightly with disguise self.
Yeah.
You can make yourself bigger or smaller.
Bigger
by
rats.
Yeah,
small
I'm
degrees.
gonna become taller and
Man
made of rats. With the snail on my head, but then because I'm using disguise self and I made myself taller, technically the snail is like invisible.
It's
inside.
like clipping into your head a bit.
Yeah.
It looks like you've got like a glowing hat because the way that the snail's clipping into your disguise sort of makes it so you can't see the snail but can see the shell.
Yes.
Is this good?
Perfect. Let's go.
Genuinely scary, this form before you. Like, properly eldritch, and if you thought about it too hard, this would be in a nightmare at some point.
Can I climb up the ladder a bit and get ready to thrust myself out of the sewer?
Yeah.
What should I say?
Just stop screaming.
Okay.
You have a scream that goes really loud.
No.
Are you doing anything to change your look?
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to just be really fucking loud. I can actually no. Yeah, actually yeah. I'm gonna cast expeditious retreat on myself, so I'm really fucking fast, like absurdly fast.
Wait, are we going back out or are we coming in?
Just make a lot of noise, get everyone to start running, and then run somewhere else in undisguise.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
3, 2, 1. Boom! You open up this vent, jumping out to what you notice is the front of your hotel. And on the main street of town.
Do I get a roll intimidation?
You may,
With
and you may as
advantage?
well. Both have advantage, man made of rats.
I am a man made of rats.
I am loud screaming man. There's a 23 on the intimidation.
And I'm gonna give myself guidance. 14?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make my voice louder, and I'm gonna just be sprinting around super fast.
So you jump out of this hole and into the street. What?
What the fuck are we saying?
Why not?
Ishak first, and people around look terrified and scared as they see you.
I just throw like the storm grate like into random direction.
Okay, roll me a d8 for the 8 cardinal directions. 1 being north.
Break the
4
fucking
being
hotel
south.
window. 8.
Okay, so you're throwing it like out onto the road, where luckily no one gets hit as this gate sort of Captain America's through swaths of moving people, and like a wheel clunks over it as it gets in the way of
I'm
some
just
horses
yelling
and
with
stuff.
thaumaturgy. The rats are coming!
You yell, the rats are coming, and behind you from the sewer grate climbs this horrible creature. The horses, seeing this, start like rushing down the street that are connected to carriages, and you see you see these like officials and like people in their top hats who are like guiding these carriages lose control, but the carriages are still attached as they go careening into. It's a worse roll for these people, into each other. And 2 carriages crash, and generally people just start to like move away from you as unsure of what's happening.
I
Your
just start
screams
sprinting in one of the directions.
interrupt the flow of traffic and generally people's days. There's a sort of clerk of the hotel sort of poking their head out the door as the rat man rises from the gutters.
Rat man coming!
You begin sprinting in a direction, Lucky?
In a direction?
Yeah,
Which direction? Do you want to go
just
up
with
or
the
down
largest group of people. Dead at them.
So,
Just like
I would like
thaumaturgy
to. I would
yelling.
like to follow behind just to add to like the intimidation factor. of
Thaumaturgy
Batman.
yelling, rats! Rats!
and the rats follow you, and you travel to the largest group of people, which is the Upper Town Market District, traveling through just rich people who are terrified and also make their way and batten down hatches and doors.
Do I just get a swarm of people sprinting in a direction?
No, you do, yeah. Not enough to cause like a full stampede, but enough that you've got a proper crowd moving. And people down the street can sort of see what's happening, and they begin to like barricade up their homes and stuff and shops, so people are like banging on doors and stuff to get away, but as you come up to them, so do they continue to run on. You notice that behind you down the street, aside from the vague carnage you've caused of horses sort of moving this way and that, and carriages being pushed in the way, that the market's sort of shut down a little bit. and the day is sort of just being generally interrupted. And you find yourself just in the middle of the rich market district. I can show you on the map where you are. You sort of find yourself in the middle just here, and you see the big castle wall that just is a big flat wall to you. There's no entrances on it. And there is silence in the street as no one else is with you anymore, as people have sort of vanished their way down alleyways and stuff. There's probably a few stragglers in the peripherals of your vision trying to slink away this and that.
I like the idea that Kai's just like doing like a whole like intimidation thing with a criminal on one of the side streets, and all of a sudden you see screaming and rats. There's like a drain just embeds in the wall behind the guy.
The rat man cometh. That was my impression of Ren's scream.
The rat man cometh.
Is you're now standing alone in this street.
Oh, well, that was fun. Rat man just like turns to us. Yeah, that was so cool. That was pretty fun.
Now get out stand in the skies and we just run. Okay, we run down a random street and just keep running until like no one is with us.
Okay.
And I just start bolting down a side street.
You notice at the beginning of the street ahead of you, so not the street that you've traveled, but the street further along, you do see a growing force of maybe like of 5 police people who are in uniform of like black garb with cudgels out and ready. Some riot sort of shield looking things slowly progressing their way down the street, afraid in their motion but still pushing forward in their charge.
Now
make a bullet.
You start sprinting.
Sprinting, dash action. Woo.
I have Expedition Street still on. I am fast as fuck.
Yeah. As I'm doing this, my hands are on my head. I must make sure the snail does not fall off.
Are you dropping the disguise as you go, or?
No, I'll wait until I'm like there's like no people around, and then I'll drop it. Like, oh wow, that's crazy! What happened?
There are 4 alleys which you can push down. You are unaware of what are down these alleys, but you must make a choice. It's the police generally pushes towards
Alley number
you.
3.
Alley number 3. Okay, I made a roll, but it's not a... I need more of an insight on myself. You push your way down this alley, and luckily it is blissfully empty. As you notice from alleys 2 and 4, do arrive guards who would have encountered you would you have gone down these alleys. And you make your way out into the beautiful city. A new snail friend, a new legend of the Rat Man, formerly a formal addition to the lore of this city.
As we're
It's like a cryptid.
yeah,
Fucking
as
shit.
we're running down alley 3 and it's empty, I want to drop my disguise because nobody's there.
Yes.
Just sort of,
Beautiful, cool.
I never get caught. They know what you look like,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
but you'll just kill them, so it's okay.
Also, I wasn't attacking anyone. I was running away like the rest of the people. I was just very scary in my running away. That's not a crime.
True.
I was warning people.
Yes.
I'm a hero. I will argue that. I'm like, I was warning the people.
You hear Ishak hyping themselves up as they walk along. Yeah, I'm the best.
That was really funny.
See, this is what you do in the spare time. You just, scare the shit out of people. It's a vibe.
and you find yourself at the King's Gardens as you push away from the rich people's marketplace.
Oh, the King's Gardens.
You know, you've passed by this once before when you were heading to the Opera House, but you didn't enter.
Wow, look at how pretty everything is here.
How dry is the brush? Is it well watered? Is it green?
No, it's a beautiful garden. It's generally well watered.
Okay.
It seems to be of a very, like, gorgeous state. The bushes, there's flowers and bushes arranged in color patterns and types. There's trees that sort of lead along these sort of nature pathways through the middle. Like, there's no specific pathway in the way that you would have, like, a gravel path or something, but you can tell by the way that the format of the garden is that there are suggested walkways, but all of them are beautiful, green and luscious.
Oh.
You hear a vague din behind you as the police circle around an area and attempt to find the Rat Man.
Oh.
The hero of the city didn't deserve and didn't want.
Do you want to know something crazy?
What?
I've rolled about 6 nat 20s tonight. That's insane.
They're looking for Ratman?
You find a policeman. Well, you don't find a policeman. A policeman finds you, who comes up to both of you and is like, "Hello, gentlemen, officers, people.
You call us gentlemen officers, people?
That's what I am.
A gentleman officer, people?
I've
Yeah.
had a long day. I'm sorry.
What happened?
There was a disturbance in town. It's where the police department's interests lay. This is just a formality. I'm looking for a rat man. I really,
That's not a character, sorry.
I really don't. It's been a day. There's just been so much happening in town, honestly.
The Rat Man or just the Rat Man at the
Where
thing?
did the Ratman come from? What's this Ratman?
I heard the rat man came from the sewers.
That sounds like where you should be looking.
Honestly, it's just rich people being rich people.
Exactly.
As long as they're happy with my work, I don't care these days. Reports of devils.
I like the fact that half the streets are building houses. Just like, we must find the menace Rat Man. We will track them down and drag their corpse from the streets.
Find the Ratman. Oh, that's so crazy. Well, I haven't really seen the Ratman before. I didn't even know what it was. What does it look like? Like, is it like a rat with like human body, or is it like a human body?
Literally every report I received of it changed. Some people said that it was a man made of rats.
Uh-huh.
Someone said it was a very big rat, which honestly seems like not my problem.
Oh, okay.
Someone said it wasn't even a rat man. Someone said it was just a man, which... what am I meant to do with that? Am I looking for 3 people?
I mean, I think either you need to talk to the vet or pest control, or you need to talk to a priest who, cleanse this land of a rat abomination.
You were there, weren't you? There's not many 7-ish foot people in town. I heard reports of you. I
warned people of the Rat Man.
were you there when it happened?
I didn't
You
really
were
get a
there?
good look at it. I was running away from the Rat Man. It is a terrifying thing. A giant rat or a mini rat creature.
Roll a deception check for me.
Hell yeah. 24.
Yeah, all the reports were pretty varying. No one really knew what it was. Ugh.
It was terrifying. It felt like it was spitting venom out of its many mouths or one large mouth.
What?
It was terrifying. The thing was spitting things and hissing. I couldn't tell if it was a cacophony of little rat voices or one really big rat voice. I just kept running.
Can I record your name for my official report?
Of course.
Yes.
It is Stephen.
Roll me another deception check with the way you said that. First sound Steven.
21.
Second name.
Peter.
Stephen Peter.
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to know Evan Peter, would you?
No. Although that name gets brought up a lot. It's really weird.
Well, fair enough.
Need to write that down. Lied to officer about Ratman. My name is Stephen Peter.
In my notes, I've got Ishak is the herald of the Ratman. Stephen Peter.
Like I'm in the fucking more. Like it's gonna be like this whole cryptic man. One day, Stephen Peter, the 7-foot tiefling man, came out of the sewer and heralded the coming of our rat leviathan god, Ratman. Holy shit! In the way your world works, I could actually now be a leviathan cryptid god, Ratman.
True, that is actually very true.
In the future, it's gonna be like if we wanted to do a fucking Hadar. Right, it's just.
But the police officer goes, "Thank you for your time. I'm sorry to bother you. And honestly, this rat man didn't seem like that much of a problem. Just people were scared. It wasn't even having public damage at the end. Someone's cart got broken. But thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
As you were." And he turns around and starts trailing sort of like back towards the hole from which you emerged in the sewers.
Wait, if they're gonna search the sewers, they're gonna see the snails.
Probably.
Do you want to know a fun fact? They probably already saw the snail.
Oh.
It's on your head.
Yeah, but they might like take those ones. No one can take this one. This one's my friend. This one's glued to my head.
True.
Got super glue on it.
And that's where you're left at this current time, standing at the edge of the King's Garden, with a new snail friend in tow.
Your dad's in chat.
Is he saying things that I wouldn't like read aloud?
I think you can't read out loud yet.
Would you like to interrupt our session today to read the 2 comments and the 2 comments alone?
No.
Okay.
I've interrupted enough mentioning it.
Mid-morning has become sort of late mid-morning now.
It's early morning. There's so much chaos and it's early morning.
And
This is what happens when you...
there you go. You are left to your devices from here to do what? Standing, Ren. No, you're not slightly wet from... You didn't fall in the water.
I didn't.
You're both unscathed and...
We feel accomplished.
Accomplished. It was actually been a really successful morning for you two.
Alright, we intimidated some people, then went into a pipe and then just scared the
We
whole
found
bunch
some
of people.
snails too.
Oh yeah, I found snails as well.
Still don't know what it is, but it's my friend now.
I was thinking of that guy who intimidates one an alley nearby, and all of a sudden there's just a swarm of people screaming about a rat man.
You're currently on a flagstone path. The castle rises up next to you in very high fashion. As in tall, not as in
Do you
high
want to
fashion.
go into the castle?
It's the castle.
Oh no, it's there.
Gardens stretch out before you. To your left, a little bit further along, you can see also an incredibly high wall, even higher than the Great Wall of China, I've been told.
Whoa.
Much taller than the Great Wall of China. Which is massive. It's like, what do you say? Like, how many people did you say there was here?
10.
It was a fucking massive.
Yeah, it's a huge wall.
It was a big wall.
Is the castle like open to visitors? Like, are we allowed to, like, is it like museum kind of thing where you can like walk in, have a little gander and a look around, or is it like fuck off?
Oh look, the crown jewel.
Neither of
Is
you
that
know.
Elizabeth II?
Lockie could give me a history roll for that, but like...
Ishak doesn't care. Ishak will try.
You definitely don't know. This is your first time on this earth.
What do you mean? I've been here all the time.
You've been here like a month and a bit.
Yeah.
You barely know what a museum is.
Look, once we get to the Feywilds, I'll know everything.
Yeah.
I'll be the smart one.
Honestly, you've already known so much about the Feywilds that's here.
I like to think Ren is just dumb because Ren is not from here, but you take Ren to like the Feywilds and Ren is like the biggest genius in the world.
Yeah.
Feywild uses wisdom, not int. That's why.
So neither of you know about the entry principles of the castle.
Well, we could try going into the castle.
I hear windows are wonderful places to enter things.
I mean, yeah, if one's open, I could just like teleport into. I could teleport you into it. I could just send you off and then leave.
From where you're standing, you can see some windows overlooking the King's Garden. You can't really see any windows that are useful height. There are some windows really tall up over the sort of market district that you were just in, but not many windows on that side. And you can't see a huge amount of the castle itself either. From this close to it, you can only really see up the wall a bit, and anything past the wall is cut off by angles of vision.
Okay, well, can we like try and see if it has a door in the castle?
Sure, why not?
Whoa, that's a strange noise that I heard in my head. Wow, I think it might be the snail making noises.
I don't think the microphones can hear that noise.
Ren's just insane, don't worry about it. Yeah, unless there's like any flowers or stuff in the garden that look familiar to me. Do they have any like extra planar flowers?
You can roll for me for that. You can do a nature roll.
Fuck. 3.
Hey man, that's some cool ass flowers. Nothing looks particularly extra planar to you from where you're standing. You don't have an excellent look at the gardens from where you are. It's only just the entrance, and like everything else, your vision isn't great enough to be like, in the distance, that's a small rat in the field. So no, there's just some colourful flowers.
Well, what are we gonna do in the castle?
Roses from where you are.
That's awesome.
I'm just like, I don't know what to do here. And normally I'm just like, go shake the money out of this guy, then come home. It's normally how it works.
Then why don't we go shake the money out of a guy?
How it works.
Crime day!
Now it's like a yearly tradition for you guys. It's like coming to count. April 21st, Ishak, it's crime day.
Yeah, half the person probably like, what the fuck? Like, we like run out of the street, find some random guy, just pick him up and just start shaking.
Okay, you would like to find a random guy to shake down?
Literally shake down. I will pick him up by his legs and just shake.
Yes, but we need to make sure that there are no people.
Can I go hide in like a dark alley somewhere?
Can I give you Trickster's blessing before you go do that?
What does that do?
Advantage on stealth check.
Hell yeah, I got a flat roll.
You know there's a shitty part of town where you went to the club.
I don't want to go to the shitty part. I want to go to the good part, because the good part has money.
The good part is where you just came from with the...
Can I go for the upper middle part?
You know that the opera, like from what you know of, so you've been to the rich part, you've been to the port, you've been to the shitty part where there's the club, and you know where the opera is.
Is there a place with like normal housing, not like completely run down and destroyed, but not like super rich either?
You don't know.
Do you think the people that go to the opera place have lots of money? We could like grab
The opera sounds fancy, right?
Yeah, we could like grab someone as they leave. Like grab them for leaving the opera early. How dare you go back in there, but now you can't go back in there because we took all of your money.
That would be very funny. I quite like the idea. Descend to a full evil party.
No, it's hilarious. For all my eye rubbing, I'm finding it so funny. Okay. Well, you know your way to the opera from the King's Garden.
You there! You are leaving early! Come to Dark Alley!
The hilarious thing is that the opera will probably be done if they're leaving, and you're like, go back in.
Everyone back inside! I am in charge now. There's some kind of terrorist hostage situation, and I just like get so deep in I can't get down. No! They all stay in unless I get my helicopter! What's a helicopter, sir? Get me one!
That is a possibility of things that could happen. Okay.
Shit, meatball rolls so far. Daniel.
So you know where the opera is, and you know the path that you met D'Angelo the accountant on. So you walk along that path, and Ishak, I would like you to roll me a perception check.
I'm gonna go. 6.
So let me see if this works at all. 6 enough? You hear a vague whispering on the wind. Your head sort of turns this way and that. But that's all you really get as you walk along. And you make your way eventually to the Opera House, where you stand in front of this large, grand building with arches like the Colosseum and this circular sort of look. Circular in the way that the arches and the sort of general architecture of the building is designed. And there you stand.
Is there anyone that's by themselves that look kind of like they have money on them? Wondering about it all.
There's a few people by themselves sort of standing out front. Most of them are in couples and stuff. There's like a guard who's at the door, but looks more like a formality sort of thing. He doesn't look like the toughest guy, but he's sort of holding a checkboard with a list on it, you presume, as people come in and show their admission. There is a gentleman in a large black sort of trench coat. It's not an ugly it's quite a fashionable trench coat, but it goes down quite low. And I can tell you about the couples as well, but there's also like one girl who's standing furthest away from you who looks fairly rich. She has jewelry on. She has some pearls on and like a ring. And
how thin and lithe does she look? Like pick-upable and shakeable, or like?
She looks pretty small and she looks like ballerina sized.
Okay.
I could shake that. Like a baby. I shake.
Sure. We're almost up to our break.
I'm moving a take up right now.
How long have we been streaming? No, we'll go on for a little longer.
Okay.
I imagine this won't take super long unless it ends up taking super long.
I mean, shit, meatball does roll quite fast.
So you stand where you are and you see her from across the way.
Is she with anyone or is she?
No, there are two people alone. The person in the long black, the two people alone who weren't official.
Well.
Okay. I'm going to go stand in that dark alleyway over there. Is there a dark alleyway over there where I'm pointing? And then your job is to get her to come into it.
Oh no!
You see this lady sort of lifts up her wrist to look at her wrist, and then back down.
Oh fuck!
Just like grab like her bag or something and run into the alley so she chases you.
She does have a little purse.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Okay. You're gonna have to hold on to this snake. Can you? Oh, no, I don't want. Do you think she'll try and hurt him?
I'm just like, we could just stick it to the wall.
But what if he runs away?
If you love something, you must set it free, and if it loves you back, it will come back to you.
Okay. I put it on the wall, but I put it like.
What? So you're in the dark alley.
Yeah. So this is like where the wall starts. I put it like here, so it's not too high up where we won't be able to reach, but it's also going to take a little bit of time to go all the way down as well. I have goo on my head.
Yeah. Your head sort of like sparkles iridescently. Your hair looks even cooler than it did before, from my point of view at least.
Thank you.
A little wet, if anything.
Okay. It's just hair gel, don't worry. That's how Ren's hair sticks out like this.
Okay, so I go and I take her bag and then I run back here, yes? Okay, I can do that.
Can I cast Expeditious Retreat on Ren?
Yeah.
You can dash as a bonus action now.
Oh, yay! So I can dash, run. Dash, run. Okay, I can do that.
Alright. So, how far away is she from the alleyway?
So there is like alleyway, footpath, wide road that could take about like 3 carriages on it, then footpath, then a little bit of like general sort of public shrubbery, and then there she is. So I hate measuring things.
Probably a possum.
Yeah.
Definitely a possum.
Very excited possum. I don't know if the stream can hear that, but there's a possum running over our roof right now.
It went like this, and then it went back up here.
We're a professional stream.
Sorry.
How wide is a cart? Like a cart's... Can you accept the distances that I put in your head of like 3 carts wide, a road, a footpath, some shrubbery, and there she is?
If 5 foot is a person,
5 foot is a person.
how many people?
A cart is probably like 4 people across, because there's walls of a cart and wheels of a cart.
Across.
Yeah, like across. So there's like 2 people sitting in the cart.
It wouldn't be 20 foot across. That would be massive.
But like the wheels and stuff that stick out.
That wouldn't be 20 foot. It might be like 10.
A cart? Like, if you're saying 20 foot, that's like 4 of these.
Wide?
Yeah, it's like 4 of these, just like...
Wait, so this table is 5 foot.
No.
This bit is 5 foot.
That's...
How big is a Subway sandwich?
Okay.
That?
A Subway sandwich is 1 foot.
That's
So
why
that
we're
would-
doing the measurement.
Five-
So how many layers across would this cup be?
Of Subway sandwich. How many layers across?
Yeah.
Like 4.
That's fucking massive.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
giant cup.
You mean the road is 4 of me?
No, like...
One cart is 4 of me.
Like, because there's got to be room for like 2 people to sit
Do you
abreast.
mean length? Do you mean in length?
No.
For 2 people to sit abreast.
Okay.
You
what-
don't need it to be 4 people across.
No,
'Cause-
you need 2 people, you
Yeah,
need walls,
but
you need
also
the space in
sitting
between.
sideways. The walls aren't bulletproof. The wheels aren't that big.
The wheels stick out.
Okay,
But they don't
Xander,
stick out
Xander,
that
Xander.
much.
Okay, so we're saying like 2.5.
Xander, this is what you're
Like
describing,
one
okay?
person across.
This is a normal cart that's probably like 5 feet. This is how you're describing how wide it is. Wait, let me just draw a person for reference.
Like
That's
you've got.
that's what you're describing right now.
But cars are big.
That's how big it
A
is?
cart would be me across, maybe. Like the inside of the cart would be me laying down.
And you're like 6 feet.
No, I'm not. I'm shorter than 6 foot.
You're saying that a cart
I'm
is
like
like...
5'10".
Here, let me draw a person
But
laying down.
from like wheel to wheel, not from because these
Okay.
cars need to like function on. the
Okay,
road.
how many street blocks would it be in length? Half a street block? Not the cart, the entire way to the person. You walk places.
Yeah, but I don't measure in street blocks.
How do you measure? How many?
Look,
imagine,
I can
do you
draw
know the big road that is by our house?
Yep.
The big road.
Yeah, Warrigal.
That's
Yeah, like what?
that's how wide the cart is.
No, that's how wide the whole thing is.
Like the road. So the
So
road
the cart
is,
is probably the width of an actual car, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not 4 people.
So that's not 20 feet.
I don't.
If they take up 5 feet of space each.
That's not that is not 5
A person doesn't take up 5 foot just by themselves.
Xander, I'm gonna stand up for you.
Yeah.
I am 5'4". Like about here is 5 feet. Like my shoulders.
So like. Okay, so the cart's like 10
No,
feet.
like inch. So like about
Like
here.
maybe 10 foot if it's a big cart.
Yeah, like about to my ear level is where 5 foot is.
Measurements in D&D scare me. And I would say, okay, if we're saying each cart is around 10, then it's
That's
probably...
a big cart. 10 foot's a big cart.
It's a big road as well. It's probably like...
So is it like a 6-lane highway big? Like,
This is how America came up with their system. How many seeds does it measure? We talking sunflower seeds? No. Apple
Okay.
seed. Yeah?
just alright, so like 3 streets and a
It's
shrub.
like 70 to 80 foot.
Okay,
Let's say it's
cool.
80
Can you
foot.
just use your meters for us?
80 foot is fine.
Okay, 80 foot.
It worked to the D&D measurement nicely.
Yeah, I'm using feet because 24.384 meters. Does that help you?
Why didn't they use metric?
It's so much easier. 100 centimeters.
It
Or
confuses me
1,000.
because a person has to take up 5 foot of space in D&D, but they don't take up 5 foot of space.
That's not how it works. But, so that's why in D&D a cart would typically be just drawn on a map 10 foot across, because that's easy for a DM. However, in reality the cart's probably a bit smaller, so it's probably 10 foot across, including the wheels.
Okay,
But like,
70 foot.
70 foot.
not the cart straight.
Okay.
It's a big 70 foot cart.
To get,
I'm gonna-
is there an alley closer to this woman that isn't 70 foot away?
No, not really.
Okay.
'Cause
Alley.
she's at the opera, and you're across the way, and then on the other side.
Shark nuts.
So,
We
uh,
are really close to that marketplace we just robbed.
No, you're not. The marketplace is over here.
Oh, rich market there.
Yeah, the rich market, because you popped out in front of your hotel, which is the T.
Yeah.
And then you rich market, then you walk past the King's Garden, and you came up here. And now you're in front of the opera, where people are generally collected around.
Okay.
And then, because if you were to find a closer alley, you would have to go up here or down here, and that would be a lot further because you'd have to.
Yeah.
The
So-
opera sort of
okay.
blocks off.
So 70 foot away
Yeah.
in dark alley.
And it's a main road that you're on as well.
Ishak is going to go into the dark alley.
Okay, I will go. Can I cross the road safely?
Yeah, no, pretty safely. There's not a huge amount of traffic.
Semi-trailer.
Ren has to play. I have to play Crossy Road and get to like 100 points before I like.
We're not
cross the
doing
road
that.
safely.
We had enough. I had enough breakdown in the discussion of how long a car is. I don't need crossing road on top of that. I appreciate the effort.
Okay. So I would like to walk kind of semi nearby the woman. And I just before I take anything of her, like, what's the most like loose object that she has on her that it seems like it's valuable that she would chase? Like, is the bag that she have like a bag that's strapped to her, or is it like a handheld?
It's like a small purse, so it's got a handle to it that she's holding, but
Not tightly, just like unconsciously.
yeah, just sort of like
It's
a
snatchable.
snatchable with effort.
Okay, is there anything that's like snatchable that has value on her?
Her pearls, maybe, across her neck. She's wearing a ring on her finger. She's wearing a sort of just under knee length dress.
Okay, well, I
of a
can't
blue
snatch her
colour.
dress.
I mean, these are just valuable things on her.
Okay.
You can roll me a perception check.
Guidance. I needed that.
Yeah.
13.
She has like a sort of comb in her hair that's one of those fancy combs that's holding in her do in place.
Okay. But her pearl. How tall is this lady as well?
She is short in comparison to Ishak, which means she's probably slightly taller than you.
But the pearls are still like, I'm not too short to
No,
grab.
you're
Okay,
perfectly fine
just-
in reaching them.
Like, imagine if it was like a Goliath or something. And I'm just like.
8 foot. You're just like, ah!
Okay. Yeah. So I want to make sure that the road is clear as well, so I can just make a really quick getaway across the road. And then I would like to try and snatch the necklace that she has.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, fuck. No, it shouldn't be that bad.
Is there a check that's better for not sleight of hand feels deceptive, whereas it's more of like a hand movement check to see if you're agile enough as you do it.
Athletics?
I know it's a weird one. Give me sleight of hand there.
Okay.
Well, because that hand doesn't have to be like stealthy or anything. You can. It's like it's just like acrobatics, but only your hands.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a small target you're reaching for, especially in a swift motion. Not impossible, mind you, by any extent.
Okay.
This lady looks human, by the way, if that's of any consequence. A lot of people in this area mostly look human.
That's a 10.
10 is just enough. 10 was the DC, because it's... And you grab onto it, and you pull, and it stays in place.
Oh,
It does not break, as you're holding on to this lady's neck as she... Stop!
Can I roll like an athletics to like pull it
You
off?
may. She
19.
bats at your forehead as you pull these pearls, and the necklace breaks off. Breaks off good for you though. It breaks at the snatch at the back, so the pearls don't fly everywhere like some dramatic scene in Batman. And you now have this lady's pearls in hand. As you... What the?
Now I'm gonna start pulsing that way, but assuring that I am seen by her,
Uh-huh.
so that she can chase after.
The lady stands there and goes, "Help! Help! Help!" As you run away with the pearls.
You know what? I
It
mean,
didn't work.
then like I run back to Ishak and I'm like, she's not coming.
I'm just like, well, I think either way we should go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I got these.
Look, they're shiny now. Put them in your pocket so people don't see them.
Okay.
Run!
You see, which way are you running?
The other way from the lady.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Oh my god.
Can I help?
Yeah, you can actually roll one of your own as well if you'd like, which is pretty much just advantage. Or you could prefer. How would you help?
I would just also be looking around.
Roll me your own check as well then.
6.
19.
Okay, well, Ren, Ishak is looking ahead, trying to navigate your way as you bond over Crime Day.
Crime day!
Crime
day.
day.
And you see the lady talking to the police.
Stranger in Buffario coming from Common took things.
Weird season elf. Stole. Rich lady's pearls. Yeah, and there you go. On your day, as you go for Crime Day, as you go further into the city. Do you head further towards your right or towards your left as you're traveling through these streets? Which now you notice these streets are sort of far more house-based and less business-based. This seems to be the residential area which you were talking about before.
Left.
Left?
Left.
Cool.
I rolled a dice.
Yes.
You push to the left. Oh, that's the whole map that I just deleted. Luckily, I undid that. And you find your way through this area, and you're in a residential area. Is there anything you want to stop and do, or shall I just tell you what the next big landmark is?
Do we want to? No, I think we should just keep running just to make
Are
sure.
there any unoccupied houses?
Oh.
No.
No one's just gone to work for the day. and
There's
houses
there's
is-
like maybe some houses along the way that it's hard to tell if they're unoccupied. You could give me a check. Like if they're currently unoccupied, there's no like abandoned houses.
Yeah.
Everything seems to have someone in it. But give me a roll for unoccupied.
What roll?
You can choose between investigation and perception. There would be different ways of looking for both of them, but they would succeed the same thing.
7.
You're moving a bit too fast for it to make up and down of it. This is a new city to you as well, and you sort of just came in from the port sort of area, but further down the beach, not the port here. And no, you're not familiar with what an empty house looks like here. Nothing. You're more used to the houses of Skosh and their white stone. Some tents, but mostly white stone because the sun is devilish where you come from.
Oh yeah, I just keep running then.
Nothing useful. So, you come across the wall. Blah, 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 blah. And as you travel further along the wall, there is three things that stand out to you from where you are currently situated. One is another big sort of wooden house. Looks semi-inviting, semi-not inviting. There seems to be a collection of workers and stuff out the front. Mostly like construction type workers, and further in a few like far more classily dressed suit-like people. There is another main road which leads to a gate, which is currently open, and not much traffic flows in and out. As you're there, maybe one cart passes through this gate, which is 2 big wooden doors, by the way, that open outward, which is a hole in the wall, by the way. And you see a church with a big circle over its front door.
We're gonna go pray for our sins.
Crime day.
Crime day.
Crime
Yes.
day ends in absolution.
Prayer was like in there stealing like candelabras and stuff.
Yeah, or we raid
Who do you worship again?
It's just a fox.
Okay.
But with that, we will also go to break.
Crime day!
Crime day.
As Crime Day will continue if you join us for the next part of the session. Honestly, isn't this so exciting, everyone? We're learning about the city. We've learned about the sewer systems. We've learned about the water purification systems. We even saw a few snails along the way. And a rat man.
Ratman!
I did pick up the snail as we ran.
I did presume that. Don't worry. I don't want to steal you of Snail being like, oh, you didn't say it.
Please, this is,
Yeah.
this is my best friend.
You spend a lot of energy going to get that snail.
I did. I
So,
nearly got thrown in
that's
the
cool.
water.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next bit. Bye-bye for now.